Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
My name is Ashley Kirchner. I currently live in Austin, Texas, continue to plan on living here. And I own a few companies of my own. My brother is my partner, a couple other of my own. And then I'm also involved in a few of my dad's companies as well. So the serial entrepreneur, but I actually do what I say I'm going to do. So, yeah.
So which companies are you most focused on right now? Or do you kind of equally focus on all of them? Or I guess what does a typical day look like for you?
Yeah, a typical day is chaos. So it is a little complex and there's a lot of moving parts, right? So we have our 40,000 square foot warehouse back in Southern Illinois. That's the foundation of me and my brother's printing company. So that local business is called Print Crazy. I don't have to do much with the local outreach, but then our facility there is what produces for my online companies, right? So I have an online company called One Stop Bride Shop, and we print and sell a bunch of custom items for women for their wedding day, but as well as just regular girls, right? So right now I have a big collection going for 4th of July and I'm selling thousands of t-shirts and tank tops to women across the US, just fun, boating stuff, right? And then we have a commercial printing face there too. I don't have to spend a ton of time. I have people handling that. So I'm in Austin doing the marketing, the web development. I still run sales, all of that from where I'm at. I also have a decking company. If you're familiar with marine mat or sea deck, boat decking, that was located in Lake of the Ozarks. In the past month, I have transitioned my CNC shop back to Southern Illinois. So we're building that out. That's primarily though focused on, that's 100% me as well. I have taken over that company 100% because that's my passion, but we're big into side-by-sides, off-road trucks and cooler tops and all these accessories that I sell across the US. And then I am the CMO of a large staffing company, and I'm now branching off into our own recruiting division that I will be 50% owner of, as well as a wellness benefits company that I've been working on for a year with our insurance people. And my father's involved in that one. So where's my focus, right? Mm-hmm. Sorry, that's the big picture of it. I also just started another company with someone in my building actually called Shredding for the Wedding. And it's an upsell to all my bridal clients on how to get in shape for their wedding, because these guys already have a fitness app. So we're custom creating a program. I'm actually testing it out myself, and then we'll have that launched in the month. I would say the bride shop, that is a number one for me right now, because it's all the basics are there. It's just now more optimizing the website and expanding on the marketing. And there's a lot of opportunity there, right? So the Shredding for the Wedding feeds into it. The staffing company is massive. It's the pro forma. I'm looking at it. It's a 9-figure pro forma. So, we're already mid 8 figures. I jumped in last year and I've really taken control of, I'm CMO, I'm kind of CTO currently. I don't actually do the API and the dev work, but I'm a systems flow person. So right. I know what is missing within all of that. So staffing, recruiting, wellness, and the bride shop are my main priority, because the other things are just they're flowing, right? And they're on the slow growth path, which these others are more on the blitz scaling path.
For sure. So for the bride shop, an ideal customer, is it just somebody going to a wedding, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah. So our main product is koozies, can coolers, actually. That's how that started 3-4 years ago. Actually, I have another company called coldyholdy.com, and it's only can coolers and cups. We saw it was mainly wedding, brides to be's and fiancés, the grooms to be, is that the way to say it? Ordering. So I was like, hey, let's make a different website just targeted towards those people. So now it's like your can coolers, your cups, your bachelorette party stuff, your wedding favors, your wedding signs, your wedding invites. And the difference between me and like a normal e-com is like I actually produce all of this stuff in our warehouse and we fulfill every single order in-house versus like just a drop shipping company. So there's a lot of potential in that market. And what we found, because we started it at the beginning of COVID, is that like weddings are not COVID proof. They do come back, but they are very recession proof, like especially affordable items. Women will still find a way to buy the stuff they want for their weddings, like even if the money's tight. So I think it's a great industry to be in.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, people are always getting married no matter what. So, and like in terms of marketing, I think, it can be challenging sometimes because like, people are coming and buying just one time. So how do you like measure and focus on lifetime value for that business?
That's funny. That's been like a very high topic lately, actually, is like, okay, this is the ROAS, the return on ad spend it took to bring this person in. But based on the product they bought, like what is the lifetime value of them? Like how low can my ROAS be? And that goes back to where like the koozie only site, if it was just koozies, they're really a one-time purchaser, which I had a phenomenal ROAS a couple of years ago, but Google has doubled my cost per click. There's all these ad issues. So it's a tough market out there. So now it's like with Bride Shop, okay, maybe they buy a shirt and maybe they're engaged now and they buy something else, right? Or maybe they get engaged later in life, or maybe they have a friend. It's also then upselling for post wedding, right? So we have I just got off a call with my ad agency today and I'm adding like the honeymoon collection. Like what can you buy now that your wedding's over? What do you want for your honeymoon? Kind of like going on there, like, and so forth there. And then I actually have a Mother's Day collection in my Bride Shop website as well, because, okay, like commonly women get married, eventually have kids, right? So maybe I'm targeting people that already have kids or on their way to have kids or want to buy something for their mom as well. So it's really just trying to full circle, like what else can you upsell to women for the most part, who are the majority of online buyers anyway, for a lifetime. For
sure. So your focus more just D2C 100%, or are you thinking about like retail or Amazon for your business?
I have not played with Amazon because it's another monster. We do have stuff on like Etsy since it's huge for weddings, although like that's not my core and like my priority. We started to get into actually we're selling quite a bit on TikTok Shop without even paying for ads, just organic. Sorry, I missed the beginning of that question there.
Well, I guess like, are you focused on retail also? I guess like, what are you kind of?
So I'm actually now reaching out to like wedding planners around the US is like an affiliate. So, hey, here's an affiliate code. You get two options. I'll either give you a big discounted rate, like % off, and you can buy and sell this stuff to your clients. Or if you have a code that I give you a link and your clients buy through us, I'll pay you a % back, kind of just like PPC marketing at that point, affiliate links for bringing in those clients. So right now I've actually scripted a nice like PDF and email that we're sending out in chunks to different wedding planners across the US, kind of testing how that will go. My goal one day is to work with a lot of like Airbnbs as well. And there's so many like themed Airbnbs now for bachelorette parties. Like, why not be involved in like upselling all of my stuff to their client base? So I find this industry very like working with other related people, right? I got my hair done the other day and she works with a lady who does facials and they're like co-branding a bunch for weddings. And I'm like, you already hit my target market. I'll give you stuff for free or like put my name on it. You get a kickback. Because I think even B2C wise, like hitting those people directly through those channels, you're already hitting your target audience more.
Right.
But yeah, so wholesale, like, again, I'm open to people. We're still just like working through those waters. I actually don't love B2C. It's kind of a hassle. Some brides love them, but they can be a little crazy. So, but yeah, we're always like moving, right? So it's like follow the money. And like, if this isn't working, try something else, or like how to optimize on, what you're already doing.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's something where I feel like also like word of mouth is pretty big too. Cause like if somebody sees it and they're also like, like their friend is getting married and they might say, hey, like, where'd you get this? Things like that.
Yeah. And especially in Austin, it triggers a lot of ideas because like this is a huge bachelorette city.
Yeah,
I was sitting outside getting coffee one day and I was working and I saw a bachelorette party next to me. So like I went in my Shopify and made her a custom code and like gave it to her for like 50% off. And like she could have cried over it, but it's just like little things like that, or eventually working with bars and restaurants where, these bachelorette parties go around the US to co-brand and work with them. But I also then want to create a landing page on my site to host all of, say, Texas wedding planners, say it's Arizona wedding planners. And it's a way to share links as well, which is good for both people's SEO end of day.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, wedding planning is a huge industry, and like, wedding planners are always looking to add as much value as they can for their clients. So
exactly. So to make it easy on them and then for us to make a profit end of the day.
For sure. So what would you say is like your top focus now? Like we're about halfway into 2024, like for the rest of this year.
Oh man, it's hard. The wellness company actually that I mentioned, it's called Rex Care, that I've been working on for a year. It's offering products as directs, which is direct like medication to your door, Teledoc, a CMP blood panel, and then Text Coach, which is mental health. Ideally, this was created for companies to give to their employees. Just like another benefit on top. And it would cost companies like $15 to $18 a month ahead. But being an entrepreneur and like being in Austin, I've met so many people that don't even have like any basic health insurance, like nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, wouldn't you love something for $20 a month? That's those simple things covers the basics. So we're finally in the process where like we have these agreements with these super large companies that have millions of users in the US, to where we're packaging these. And that is, I would say, my Q2 or Q3, Q4 goal for the rest of the year is to really start to finish that pipeline out. We just have to build out like the connection of the systems on the back end because it's kind of complex. So,
hey y'all, it's Dan Melnick, the CEO of Zing. And I wanted to share a special offer for all of our listeners. Right now, if you need software development services, we'll give you 2 weeks of a free trial. Do you need to update your website? Do you want to build a mobile app? Do you want to update something that you've been working on for a long time? We've worked in a high-level technologies like AI, machine learning, blockchain. So shoot me a text, 817-874-2208. Thank you.
So when you say finish that pipeline out, like what do you mean specifically?
So we know what products we're selling. We have the relationships with the suppliers at this point, but now it comes to the back end, right? Like these aren't as simple as like click and buy. It takes your personal medical information. You have to fill out stuff as a consumer on maybe 3 different websites. I have to connect their back end and API it to our back end. So once someone places these orders, it can also shoot that information over and then back. So there's a lot of complexities on the billing end of it, in the information sharing of it. And we want it to be very simple for the user to have one app, one platform to go into to fill all of this out. So we have some calls coming up finally with the insurance partners and the other people, because I'm like, sales understands sales, but me, like I do sales, I do marketing, I do systems, like full picture, right. full picture of it all. But it's like sales understands sales, but they don't understand, well, how does the back end of all of it work, right? So you can take in the money, but it will crash and burn if it takes off too fast, if you don't have like your systems in place. So that would be a focus for the second half of the year.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like nowadays, many people are using AI in their business. And I was like, I'm deep in the space. Like, I'm always curious, like, is that something that you're using currently? And if not, like, where do you think maybe they could add value for your business?
No, actually. So we have a web. I'm pretty into, Playwright. Of course, like everybody messes in ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
But I have he will eventually be like CIO's CTO. He's on contract though right now, and he has been for a year with me as my like high level web admin for the staffing company in RexCare. He's basically like a rocket scientist. He's insane. But he built a really cool AI chatbot for us for the staffing company, and I've been testing it out recently as to like, are you an associate looking for a job? Are you an employer looking to hire? And the way it answers and where it sends you is freaking awesome. So I have a lot of ideas when it comes down to that. And even that helping auto generate like our FAQ page, and then the FAQ page be all AI generated as well. So I realize, I know it's a thing and you have to stay like on top of it. I will say I do have some marketing that's like an AI pushback and the staffing, and it says like at the end of the day, like AI will not fix your people problem. Like there's certain industries where you still need people and AI isn't going to fix it. So I do use it as a marketing piece to like some of the businesses that we push that need employees. But yeah, it's hard to keep up with it though. There's like so much going on. So I kind of leave it on him to like just update me and inform me of it.
For sure. So what would you say is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you started your entrepreneurship journey?
Oh my gosh. One thing, I don't know. That's a really hard question. Eventually it'll work out. It's been all over the place. Like I start with one thing. I'm someone who will like go build out a website over a weekend because I have like a crazy idea. And then, you know, I don't follow through with it. Actually, I think something is micromanaging very early on. So I employ like 30 people back in Illinois, like actually employ them in our warehouse, our staffing companies, 30 plus people. So I deal with it full spectrum, like the HR side of it, everything, right? And before I moved here, being in the warehouse with everybody, I would very much so micromanage everything, right? And I'm also a graphic designer originally. So like when people send me proofs, sometimes I'm like, that's not what I want, but I'm like, you know what? If it's 80% good, let's just roll with it. So I'm learning like the 80% rule. Like if they can do it 80% as good as me, like just do it, you know, because we will get a lot more done delegating work to other people. And also I think the staff and people like to feel like they do have some say within a project and that we value their opinion and they like get a little excited to like take the lead in it. So I think it'd be micromanaging.
So do you like have boots like on the ground in Illinois? Is your brother there, right?
So my brother runs production. So like we have, again, it's a physical production shop. We have dozens of printer types, everything like that. I used to also do that. I can run every single piece of printing equipment in our facility. But yeah, my customer service, they're all in-house. Graphic designers, all in-house. You know, we have embroidery, screen printing,
Right.
Wide format printing, DTF printing, which is for shirts, direct to film, paper printing, all of that. And we have people there. Yeah.
Yeah. Because definitely
no one else is remote.
Yeah. Because micromanaging, I was about to say, like from far away can definitely be challenging.
Yeah, it is. It is hard. I do fly home because my family's there anyway every month. So I try to go back to the warehouse because when I'm there, it does help to be in person. Like, hey, let's look at all this apparel we just ordered and that we're making, and to really sit down with the team and just catch up with them on a personal level, you know, is always important. But then I do see a million things that I want changed when I'm there. I'm like, ooh, we should be doing this. But yeah, you can only do so much.
For sure. So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your businesses?
So RexCare, I better have sales by then. It better be up and running. We also are starting, that has to do with the recruiting. I have a guy that works in Guatemala for me, Luis, and we are starting our kind of global outsourcing program with him. So we will be doing global recruiting for companies in the US, for countries in Latin America. So I hope that that is fully optimized and running by next year. I have number goals for Bride Shop, but we've had a bit of a slowdown this year because we had a bunch of Google and Facebook ad issues. So it really like put a damper in my sales.
Right.
I hope to not spend so much time on my Coldie website stuff. And I hope Bride Shop is actually more just like running and I don't have to spend 30% of my week on it, because Decked Out, one of the other companies that I mentioned, I'm doing kind of a 180 in how I'm selling and what I'm selling. So I would expect my growth to be 3 times by this point next year for that company. Yeah, just to be a little bit more organized,
Right.
I would say. But you know what? My day is chaos. I'm cool with it. That is what it is. I still try to go out and like, you know, take a trip here and there and enjoy it. So
For sure.
But
So,
yeah.
I think that's awesome. Yeah. So like if somebody watching this wanted to reach out to you, do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
Yeah, my Instagram is, don't judge the name. It's because our company at home is called Crazy Town USA. So my Instagram is at crazy, CRAZEE _Ash, ASH. You could DM me there. I'm actually pretty good on my Instagram DMs. You can email me. I may be a little bit slower, but it's Ashley, ASHLEYK at ECOMVESSEL.com. I'm creating my new personal website now, but it is all linked in my Instagram, like in my page there too. So I think that would probably be the best way to get a hold of me.
Awesome. Well, Ashley, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. I had a blast and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Have a good one.